Hello my friends, I'm Clover and this is Genuinely Approachable Sudoku, and today we are solving 897 did by Philip Newman. This is a Renban Sudoku. That means that we have normal Sudoku rules, so we're placing the digits 1 through 9 once each in each row, each column, and each outline 3x3 region. And then we also have some pink lines in the grid, and along each of these pink Renban lines, we have to have a set of consecutive digits, but those digits can appear in any order. So for instance, we could have the digits 2, 3, and 4, but they could go 3, 4, 2, just to give an example. So I'm going to start down here in the bottom left, because anything that has a 1 on it with 3 cells has to be 1, 2, and 3, and we already have a 2 in this region. Now this either has to be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. Because it can't have a 4, it must be 1, 2, 3. So therefore this can't include a 3, so it has to be 4, 5, 6. And then these digits are going to be 7, 8, and 9. This one can't be a 7 because there is a 7 in the column already. Okay, now this needs to be either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. And there's not a 4 there. These are going to have to be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. So we know that there's a 2 in one of those cells, and we know there's either a 1 or a 4 to go with it. Ditto here, but because we have a 1 and 2 in this row already, this has to be 2, 3, 4. Now the 4 we just placed tells us that this can't be 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6, so it must be 5, 6, 7. And because there's definitely a 7 in one of those two cells, that's a 6, which resolves this 5, 6. So now these are going to be 1, 6, 8, and 9, and that's not an 8 because there is an 8 in the column already. This also can't be a 1 because we would have to duplicate the 2 and 3 in this region, so that is going to be either a 6 or a 9. Now these cells are going to contain 3 and 8. These guys, we could have 5, 6, 7, we could have 4, 5, 6, and we could have 3, 4, 5. Actually, we can't because there is a 3 there. So this definitely has a 6. It's either 4, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7. So there's a 6 in one of those cells. That places a 6 here because we have 6s here, 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 and here. So if we look at these cells, these are going to be 5, 8, 9. And there's a 5 in this row, so the 5 has to go down here. That means that these guys are either 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9, and either way that's going to be a 7, 8 pair. Because we know that there's a 7 in column 3 already, they'll go like that. So these are now 4 and 9. And that's not going to be an 8, so this will definitely be an 8. Okay. These are going to be 1, 6, 7, and 5. This can't be 5 or 6, so it's 1 or 7, and there's a 5 in one of those, and that's not a 6. We need an 8 somewhere in this column, and the only remaining position where we could possibly have an 8 is right here, so that tells us this is 6, 7, 8, which gives us the 9 in this region, the 8, and the 7, and then the 9 is going to resolve our 4, 9 pair. And the 8 resolves this. So our last 3 digits in this column have to be 4, 5, and 8. And our last 3 digits in this column are 1, 2, and 3. That's not a 3, and that's not a 5. Now this 6, it doesn't have a 7 on the Renban, so it must be 4, 5, 6. So we place a 4 here and a 5 here. That means this is definitely 1, 2, 3 because there's no 4 on this line, so that's going to be a 7. And that will make this a 4. This can't be a 4 or 5 now, so that's an 8, making this a 4, making this a 5. So now we know for sure that this is going to be 5, 6, 7. And that's not a 4. So here we have 1, 2, 3, and 8. And then these are from 1, 2, and 9, and we already have a 2 in one of these cells, so that's not going to be a 2. It's either a 1 or a 9. These contain 1, 3, 4, and 5. That's not a 3, that's not a 4, 5, or a 3. So we can eliminate 1 and 3 there. And now we need 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the column, and we already have an 8 in region 5, so our 8 must go there. So these are from 6, 7, and 9, and I can make some quick eliminations using Sudoku, and I know that there's a 9 in one of those cells. That's going to be 1, 4, or 9. These have to be 4 and 5 by Sudoku because there's a 4 and 5 in this row, eliminating 4 and 5 from these cells. And because there's a 4 in this column, that'll be a 5, that'll be a 4. So these are from 1, 3, 9, which makes this our 7. And now I get to place a 2 right here. And my last 2 digits here are going to be 3 and 6, which will go that way around. And that resolves quite a bit. That tells us this is 2, 3, 4 for sure. That's not a 4. Okay. So now I have a 1 in this row, so that's a 5 and a 6. And my last 2 digits in this row are going to be 1 and 2. Now, because I've already used 4, 5, and 6 in this column, my 3-digit Renban can only be 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9. But it can't be 1, 2, 3 at this point because that would break this cell. I wouldn't have anything to put in there. So it must be 7, 8, 9. So that's the 8, that's the 7, and that's the 9. That resolves the 3, 8. And it removes a 9 here, which places a 9 in this cell. Which does a fair bit for us. That makes this a 2, which resolves this. That's now going to be a 1, and our last digit by Sudoku will be a 9. And that is how you solve Philip Newman's 897 did. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. The link to solve it yourself is in the description of this video. And I will see you again in 3 days.